Da, 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 da. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the first Secret Beach tide pool in a long time. And I know we got a bunch of new Secret Beach members, so these are how the tide pools work. We just move from one to the other, and so here we are, and Brianna's already hopped in. I did tell everyone that they could take a little potty break. I didn't need one tonight, so cool. I'm just like trucking right along, like, let's keep on going. Having a good time. Thank you again, Brianna, for coming on both shows. It was very nice of you to take the time to help educate others, because, and we talked about it a little bit, and Dave and I had talked about it. It's definitely, you were a teacher, yet you still are, and so is David, and so am I. It is very fulfilling to help people with any part of our e-commerce businesses and then watch them succeed. Last week I did 3 free webinars, and each night was broken down into 12 segments, and I was watching people start adding international shipping and upping their return for time to 60 days, and then adding Bonanza. People are getting sales right away of things that had sat in their eBay store for a year and a half. So it is so nice to see people excel right from the things we teach them.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, and someone's asking about the chat. Yep, we are chatting. All right, let me give her the link just in case she doesn't know where it is. So this is a little more casual, a little more laid back. But I see that the Secret Beach members are rolling over. They're probably refreshing their drinks and going potty. So here we are hanging out in the tide pool with Brianna. So now is your chance. Now, so let's recap real quick. Brianna sells on Amazon, on eBay, on Etsy, on Bonanza, on Jet, on Walmart. She does merch by Amazon. She has a business where she also uses virtual assistants and makes t-shirts and has all kinds of things. So what do you got for her, kids? What are the questions for Brianna? Or we'll just sit and the three of us will look at each other and we'll talk about the crazy winds of Las Vegas right now.
Oh,
it was 90 yesterday, and it's like low 70s today because of these crazy 60-mile-an-hour winds we had last night. So
I think it's got to be in the 20s here, maybe.
Yeah, we when you move to Vegas, they don't tell you 2 things in the Welcome to Vegas guidebook. A, the winds will beat the shit out of everything in your backyard. And B, the dryness will destroy everything you own. So if you've got something really nice, don't ever put it outside. So living here, I've gone through so many patio umbrellas because about the 4th or 5th year of owning one, you go to pull the string up and it just turns to dust right in front of you.
Oh man, ooh. I hate that.
Jeez.
So the wind kicking it, and then poof, and boom, you got to go buy new umbrellas, and so that's fine. I don't have to shovel snow ever again. But these are the things that we did not learn. All right, so we got our first question for Brianna. What is the one key to selling on Poshmark? Do you do a lot on Poshmark, Brianna?
It's new. It's my new experiment. So it's funny. Apparently, I've been on Poshmark for several years because I have thousands of followers on there and didn't even realize it. So I went into my account the other day because I saw someone, I think on Instagram, that was selling a ton on Poshmark. And so far I like it. It's weird. It's very social media based, and I'm still trying to get a feel for what exactly everyone's doing. I mean, I know I get the basics of it. They're sharing and liking things, but it's like, I don't know what the benefit is for me to be doing that with their items yet. So that's the weird thing. When you're listing on there, you'll notice immediately as soon as you list, it's like so-and-so shared it, so-and-so liked it, so-and-so, and it's crazy, the flurry of notifications that come in from it.
So Destry's asking about Bonanza. Now, Destry, did you take my 36 tips, mistakes you're making last week? Because I talked about Bonanza, and I was going to ask you, Brianna, are you on Together?
I was. And I sold an item on there, but it's still too clunky and glitchy, and I don't know. I didn't want to invest much more time into it. And it was a couple months ago. I sold an item on Bonanza today and Together yesterday. So I'm like, all right. Yeah. So Bonanza, it's, and we'll probably do for the Secret Beach, since I taught, most of you guys are like, what are these other websites? I'll probably do like a walkthrough tutorial. So that'll be coming up.
So this is a good question. Mary had in the last chat, but I wanted to save it for here because I knew Mary was in the Secret Beach. What apps have you looked at or used for cross-platform listings or promotions?
As far as like listing cross-marketing, is that what she's indicating? So originally I used Sellbrite, and I'm considering going back to that. I used that one very early on, where you really had to know some HTML coding. And for the school district, I did some work where I created online courses. So it didn't like deter me from using Sellbrite to begin with. And the premise of it is amazing. And now it's been a couple years, and I've taken a look at it again, and it looks really cool. I mean, you could connect your Etsy, Amazon, eBay, ShipStation. I mean, the list is like huge now of all of the things that can be integrated through Sellbrite. So I am familiar with that one. And then there's a couple others that are a little bit smaller that just focus on, like, for instance, like Joe Lister. You've got Joe Lister. That's just Amazon to eBay. If you just want to, you know, simplify it. But Sellbrite to me seems kind of like the, you know, the big hub of running all of it right now.
And both that and Joe Lister, Secret Beach members, there could be things that we could do webinars on, tutorial walkthroughs, because I've never used Joe Lister, but I should. And, you know, Bonanza together are easy once you get it rolling. And so, but, you know, and I know a lot of you are new. And so you're new, you know, Brianna and David, we had someone join the Secret Beach who hasn't even sold yet on eBay.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so from the webinars and hopping in the thrifting board, they're like, yep, I think this is the place. So we've got experienced longtime sellers, and we got one that has never even sold. So I know there's gonna be more. We're gonna do more like kind of how-to tutorials on things because sometimes it can be daunting, and sometimes if someone's just holding your hand and going, you know, boom, 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 pretty easy. But on your own, sometimes you're like, how do I do all this? You know, so my mom, I think you answered this, but my mom had a question. If you want to go into a little bit more detail, who helps you with your designs for when you're doing your merch shirts?
So the basic team that we have at VA Rentals pretty much handles all of my shirt designs. So like we have researchers who are going out onto the social media sites and looking for trending t-shirts. I mean, they're going everywhere from Pinterest to Instagram to Etsy. And then someone kind of vets those leads and looks through them to see if there's a representation of them already on Amazon. Then basically it gets passed through almost like an assembly line. So then it's going to go to the designers, and the designers are going to design it. It sounds more complex than it is, but and then I just take a look at it, kind of proof it, make sure it looks okay. And that can be outsourced too. And I've outsourced that in the past where someone's just checked them for me. And then TOS right now for Merch by Amazon, I got a little slap on the wrist because TOS is, you're not supposed to have anyone else access the account. And I had a virtual assistant uploading my designs. And I was honest about it. I mean, I needed the help. But they basically said, don't do that anymore right now. So be careful of that.
So there's definitely, you actually have stipulations. From what I understand what you just said. So if I have someone else make a design, I actually have to upload that. They can't upload that from another IP address. Is that how they notice it, or how does that come up?
Yeah. They must have noticed it from the IP address. And I've been on the platform for so long that like I've seen all of these changes. So it's like I was doing things wrong before they were wrong. So then it was like, oh, now what you're doing is wrong. Oh, great. Like I had so many t-shirts that had an F-bomb on them. And then they came out with, you know, no profanity. Are you kidding me? Like, these are my best-selling shirts. So then I had to go through and remove hundreds of them. So yeah, just be up to date on what their current policies are. And they're changing drastically and quickly.
So real quick, just a little housekeeping. Somebody in the chat said it was hard to find this. Every time we do a webinar or show, there's a post in the Secret Beach with a big old graphic. So this one was a big old graphic of Briana, and I expelled it out. Here's the link for the show, and here's the link for the after show. So all I got to do is just make sure, if nothing else, check the Secret Beach once a day. There's always the shows, and I always make graphics because graphics are so much easier to notice and see. So just make sure you keep your eyes open, and what you can do is you can save any post on Facebook anywhere, and then you have the little saved column. So what I would recommend anytime I'm doing any show or webinar, that you immediately just click to saved, set a little reminder in your phone, or put your alarm on, or use your calendar on your phone to pop up. Hey, don't forget, here's the after show tonight. And then you go over to your saves and boom, there's the links right there. Super duper easy. That way you're not, bouncing around looking. But we got 78 of you tuned in, so I see a lot of you did come over. So cool. But if you missed it, you can always watch the replay.
Thanks for tuning in, by the way.
Yes, heck yeah. All right, I saw another question. Let me scroll back up here. Oh, that's a good one from Steven. Is there anything you stay away from selling and why? And I'll ask that to both of you, actually. But Brianna, I'll ask you first. Do you sell racist propaganda often?
Not usually. In general, I'm not one of those people that says, oh, I'm not going to sell this because of whatever reason. I don't care what it is. Obviously I'm not going to go crazy and sell something that's completely illegal or inappropriate, but I don't care how large the item is. I don't care what niche it's in. If it's going to make a profit, I'm listing it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It would have to be something that goes against, I guess, my personal beliefs. And if it compromises that,
exactly.
It goes back to the me, wanting to represent my company and my business and my packaging and all that sort of thing. Everything is a representation of who you are, believe it or not, whether you agree with it or not. So I just try to stay away from things that would be, looked or frowned upon by people of my beliefs.
All right, I like it. But speaking of the shipping big stuff, someone did have a question. How are you shipping the big stuff, like the furniture you ship and stuff like that? What types of shipping are you using, Brianna? Bigger stuff.
Usually my go-to has been FedEx Ground. It's actually really pretty affordable. I've even used it for some small coffee tables. The tables I shipped today were just end tables. I've actually shipped something bigger. But a coffee table is kind of the limit, it seems, dimension-wise. But I've shipped through these independent shipping services. I've shipped a vehicle. You can,
Of course you did.
Of course.
Of course you did.
You can call a shipping service. There's lots of shipping services that you can use, if you wanted to ship a dinette set or whatever. There's literally, nothing too big, really, to list on eBay. You can list just about anything.
Someone said the other day, why would you ever list anything expensive on eBay? I'm like, why would you? It's a worldwide known brand. And we were talking about some product that was a few $1,000s. I'm like, y'all ain't never seen when people sell islands and stuff. There's been products that sold for millions on eBay. They've sold jets and islands and all kinds of artwork, all kinds of crazy stuff. A lot of major brands will use eBay to sell their stuff. Every time Survivor's done with a season, they raise money for a charity by using eBay to sell all the props from that season. So, it is one of the world's marketplaces to shop in.
Yeah, that's why I love eBay, because Amazon is fantastic. It's crazy because I sell on eBay, but I almost exclusively shop on Amazon. But eBay's like the world's flea market. That's why I love it, is because you can find the same thing on Amazon. Sometimes it'll be more affordable, but the things that you find on eBay are, you can find crazy out there, out of the box things on eBay that you probably, even though it's the world leader in sales, probably aren't going to find on Amazon. So that's why I love eBay so much.
So Kim went to go make dinner, so she's out, but I know she's starting to sell here. Do you sell on Depop?
No.
So that's for all the youngins. And so Kim's daughter introduced her. Only an app, and it definitely has a lot of elements of social media, and we'll get into that. I'll find someone who's really hammering it on Depop, but I know instead of using just plain backdrops or mannequins, it's more of a social media thing where if you're a younger, like when I say younger, like in your 20s and you're selling clothes, you're probably modeling yourself, taking like selfies, but you're aiming to a younger crowd. So you're not going to be selling, you know, parkas on there to, but if you've got a teenager and they want to sell their stuff, I'm from what I'm seeing and it's a pretty quick and easy app to list on, because a lot of these newer things, you're not doing some of the hoop jumping that Amazon and eBay will make us do. So you can get things listed a little bit quicker and have to be so specific, blah, blah, blah. So that'll be something that we'll talk about coming up. So that'll be kind of cool.
Depop. I wrote it down. I never heard of it. We'll look it up.
Brianna, do you have any advice for new merch designers? Is it best just to start simple?
Yeah. I mean, the advice is definitely don't necessarily pick designs that you would like yourself, because most of my shirts I would never wear. Some of them are like, I don't even know why they sell. So I guess just with my math and science background, I like data, I like research. And so spend some time. I approach Merch by Amazon like I approach Amazon FBA, to be honest. So I'm looking at trends in social media and other t-shirts in certain areas that have been made. And then like, I'm going back to Amazon and I'm like, oh, is this niche like completely saturated? Like, what's this quote? Are there already a bunch of t-shirts like this? And if there really isn't a representation of the idea, then I send it to my designers and say, hey, can you make this for me? And I think that's why it's been successful. And then taking the time to do some decent keywords too. It really does make a difference to take time to do that.
So do you take more time in the search and research aspect of what you just spoke about, of the idea, or do you actually take time and try to maybe draw out or illustrate in your own way to your own designer on the other side what you want done? Which one do you balance in terms of time? Which one do you spend more time doing?
So because I don't have a design background, I am not at all like attached to my designs or emotional at all about like how they look. So for me, it's literally just a design. It's just like as fast as I can get a decent design up and going that's going to sell. And it's funny, some of my designs that sell are the simplest things. They're not these elaborate artistic masterpieces. They're literally like, tacos are good. Like, really? Just that? I mean, it's crazy what'll sell.
I mean, they are.
They really are. I mean, who
have you ever shipped a taco?
No, have you?
No. I'd probably eat the thing before I sold it.
But yeah, just not like, basically don't overthink it. Don't design things for yourself necessarily, unless there's a certain niche that's underrepresented but I'm looking for what are people looking for. I want to know what they're going to buy.
Right.
And I design
reverse engineering your own crowd.
Exactly.
I love it. That's the way to do it. That's fantastic.
And you develop a niche after a while. At first, it was kind of just like, I'm just going to go out there and throw a bunch of shirts out there. And then I started to get a feel for what I liked and what was selling well. And then you can kind of like hone in a little bit more after a while.
So do you have a limit of how many shirts you can post on a particular day, or how does that work?
Yeah, everybody's accounts are different depending on when you signed up and how quickly you got approved, and people are on different tiers, and it's kind of a hot mess right now, but you know what?
yeah.
It's like, but on the other hand, it's their platform, it's their rules, and it's free money if you're not, paying someone to do your designs. So I'll play by their rules and, make money while I can.
So this is a great question from the chat. I love this question. Diane wants to know, what's your favorite Bolo items that you get excited to find? So, of course, for me, it would be tiki mugs. For David, it'd be vintage snapbacks. What do you were like, yay, I found one?
I don't even know. Maybe I really don't even know. Like, I guess my new thing is vintage stuff. And I really started into it, like, a couple of the listings that you guys showed. Like, I knew nothing about vintage when I started. And actually, you discussed it earlier, like, starting your eBay business with something that you're really interested in and then start building out from there. and learning. And that's kind of where I am with vintage. So right now, when I find a piece and I know it's like in good condition, and I'm like, oh, it's either, you know, wool or I don't know, it just has coyote fur on it or something special, then I'm like, yeah, oh my gosh, I know this is going to be a good one. And I'm like, don't look at my cart. Like, you know, like stay away from my cart. Like I'm looking around, making sure nobody goes near it. It was probably hanging there for months, but, you know, I get a little protective.
Now, Jason, I got one actually. You did mention the snapbacks, and that is a lot of what I'm known for. Another thing on a personal level, something that I collect and sell, similar to your tikis, and because this is your closed group, I'll give it out so that you guys can get out there and make some extra bucks on it. Is I'm going to turn around and get one actually.
All right, Prongles.
No, but I got to get my second bag because I got to put my money where my mouth is. It's bobbleheads. Seem stupid, seem annoying, but I'll give you 2 tips when it comes to bobbleheads, and this is only because it's a Secret Beach and because it's Jason T. Smith's group. Am I going to give this out? I'm going to give you a keyword to search, and it's actually not even a keyword. It's just 3 letters. And I want you to guys to do some research on this. And the 3 letters are extremely important. It's S as in Sam, G as in Georgia, A. SGA. Okay? What that stands for is Stadium Giveaway. Okay?
Ooh.
So Stadium Giveaway. It's a huge, guys, I know it doesn't seem like a big deal, but there are bobbleheads that are extremely rare. Now, if you go to an Atlanta Braves game, you're probably going to get a bobblehead, and they made 20 or 30 or 40,000 of those. Those will probably be like a $20 bobblehead. Fine if you collect them. One of the ones I want you guys to keep track of and start looking is there's minor league baseball teams in just about every state. And if you don't know anything about baseball, they're in tiers. They have single A, double A, triple A, high A, low A, and then they have the major league teams. The bobbleheads that are given away in minor league stadiums, whether it be hockey, basketball, whatever, those are much smaller, much more rare quantities. Some of them are even just 200 and 300. This David Robertson bobblehead, it's teeny tiny. It's just like 2 or 3 inches compared to this normal size Charlotte Knights bobblehead. This one is from the Tampa Bay Yankees. This was one of 300 that were given out at a single A stadium. So, you know, they're worth a good bit, but SGA, keep that in mind. If you ever come across bobbleheads and you don't know if it might be worth something more than just 10 or 12 bucks or whatever, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to tell you a value. Just like Jason T. Smith knows about tiki stuff, you guys have a bobblehead, I will be glad to answer, and I might even buy it from you.
Haha, there you go. And my mom told her story, and I was going to add to this, and you're so true. So if you've ever seen the movie Major League, it's about our poor, sucky Cleveland Indians with Charlie Sheen. And Joe Boo was the god that they prayed to for baseball. And so my mom and dad went to the minor league game in Euclid for the Cleveland Indians. And I don't know if it's A or double A or whatever it was, but it was Joe Boo night. And so they each got one. And my mom listed from sitting in the stands. So there's my mom and dad watching a baseball game, eating a hot dog. They took a picture of the bobblehead in front of them with the game going on in the background. And I think they sold them both before they left the game for like $75 a piece.
Oh, that's easily $100.
Oh, yeah. So that's
easily.
That's how you get your hustle on. You're 70 years old. You're sitting at a game that you went to for $8 a ticket to make $150. That's how you get your hustle on.
You're so right. Anything major league, because they do theme nights. So Star Wars bobbleheads. Every stadium does a Star Wars bobblehead. There's usually a ticket. You have to buy a special ticket. It's not just a regular entry ticket. So they have like Star Wars bobblehead nights. Those are high dollar bobbleheads. Anything major league. Joe Boo, that's $100 all day, every day. If you have a bobblehead that there's more than 1 or 2 people on the actual statue, that's more money. So guys, you know, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. But I wanted to I didn't even think about it until you guys mentioned it. But since it's the Secret Beach and I know you guys pay money and you guys want really good information, that one's one. SGA bobbleheads.
I love that tip. All right, so Brianna, someone wants to know where to find your VA. The hell, I lost it already.
The VA outsourcing stuff.
Yeah,
company?
the link to your company.
It's just www.va.rentals is all it is.
Easy.
Yeah. And if you go to it, it'll kind of redirect you to the parent company that I co-own, Elite Product Sourcing. But if you don't see what you want on there, I mean, we can customize anything. There are people on different tiers and all that stuff, and just shoot us a message, and we'll work with you.
There you go. Yeah, so I put it in the chat, so that's cool.
Thank you.
And David, the question for you from the chat is: ask David about SGA hats. While you're eating prongles.
I'm still eating my prongles.
You got a mouthful of prongles, and we have a question for you.
SGA hats. So hats fall into that same category. Sometimes. Don't mark my words on that 100%. But hats do fall in that same category. Now, if you come across a hat that is, for example, the Atlanta Braves have had a number of different logos. Or have also been a part of, the Milwaukee Braves. If you have a team who at some point in their history has been in another city or was known for another name, then you are definitely in something that could be worth something because it was given away as a limited item, and it might have some sort of commemorative patch or something like that. Whenever you get into that situation, yes, you could be into something. But if it's just a regular hat at a Yankees game with a Canon advertisement on the side of it, it's probably just a hat. But if you ever in doubt, feel free to like I said, send me a message and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help.
So Brianna, we didn't get to share this on the main show, but I definitely want the Secret Beach to hear this. We ask all our guests, what is the most interesting thing you sold? And you have two good answers, or the coolest thing you sold. So you've done something that all the crap I have sold, I have never been able to sell something like you did to the Christmas tree you sold.
Oh, the ceramic?
Yep.
The little ceramic one. So my I call them my fun sales. Let's see here. Two broke girls. It was one of those ceramic trees from the 80s with the little, there's like a light bulb inside, and then you put the little, I don't know, little ornaments on it. I never did see, though, if it made it to the show.
So Two Broke Girls was a TV show, in case you don't know.
Yeah.
And
Great, hilarious show, by the way.
We've had a lot of people sell to TV shows, to movies, and then they see their stuff. And I have sold so much cool stuff over the years, and mine has never, to my knowledge, went to a prop house or a TV show. And because the return address is like Two Broke Girls Props or something.
Yeah, yeah. Just 2 or 3 days ago, I forget the name of the Amazon series. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisley, I think it is. Their prop house bought a vintage umbrella from me, and that one's in New York. So watch, because I think the new season's on.
Watch for an umbrella.
Watch for my umbrella. And then the actress Juno Temple. I'm trying to think. I think she was in Batman and a couple of the other ones. She made an interesting purchase of like a silky, like it reminded me of like a smoking jacket, but it was a robe, like a men's robe from like the 40s. So I could totally picture her like rocking like some, cut off jean shorts and like this men's robe as like a jacket, Oh,
so. Well, Becky Dick in the chat said, I sell my jewelry to Broadway shows. I never even thought about they need to buy stuff too.
Yeah.
Dang, I feel so left out. I've never sold a Broadway show, a TV show, or a movie. Dang it.
I actually sold, now that I think about it, I sold something for the Stranger Things cast.
I hate all you.
And it was a Space Ranger, it was like the first laser tag game from like the 70s or 80s or something. Cool. Brand new in the package. I mean, it was still new in the package, and I sold it, and it was actually two of them. I got them for $5 a piece, and I want to say I sold them for over $100. I vaguely remember that. And then they messaged me later, and they're like, "Yeah, this is going to be either be used on the show or it will be set somewhere that you can see it like in the background." I've seen every episode of Stranger Things. I still have not seen it. I was kind of hoping it was going to come out in the second season when they were opening up like Christmas gifts and stuff. I was like really hoping that would be one of the things that would be awesome, but it wasn't on there. So I don't know. Maybe it'll show up. Maybe it won't.
Yeah, my mom just sold a dress, a vintage waitress dress, to a movie that needs a vintage waitress dress, and they're being shot right now. So even my mom has sold. So yeah, that's the one thing that is missing off my resume. I have sold to a lot of famous people, and what's shocking to me, it's often their normal address, and they have a very distinct name where like Keith Olbermann from ESPN. I'm guessing, and he bought some sports thing for me. I'm guessing it's got to be in New York City. And it was his address in New York City. I'm like, what? Hey, Keith. And then Holly Madison, one of Hef's girls.
Yeah.
She lives here. I know where to stalk her now. She lives like 10 minutes from me. Not that I would.
Next week on The Secret Beach, I will be your host because Jason T. Smith is in jail.
All right. Well, hey, this was a wonderful tide pool. Brianna and David, both thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thank you for answering questions.
Loved it.
I love this one, and we haven't done one in a while, and I felt this was a good guest to do questions with, and so thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh my God, Kim just messaged me. She got a message from a museum for 2 of her pieces. What? I never even sold a museum either. Dang. Oh my God. All right. Oh, what was that little note? Oh, a let go notification. Did I just sell something on a local app? That would be awesome. Oh no, never mind.
Brianna probably like shipped a museum somewhere. So,
well, let me tell you about that. No, I'm just
kidding. She shipped a Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton.
Someone sold to the Johnny Cash Museum. All right, I gotta go because I'm gonna go cry in my beer now. There's a tear in my beer. All right, Secret Beachcomber, especially those of you who are new. This is the kind of stuff we do from time to time. It's a little more cash and more laid back, but we always have people hanging around answering questions, teaching you new stuff, teaching about SGA, stadium giveaways. I love it. Right? Stadium giveaways, right? Yep.
Yes, sir. That's it.
All you got to do is keep your eye on the prize and keep trying new things, and you will be a mad hustler of 1,000 different things like Brianna is, like David does, like I do. David's got other kinds of hustles that have nothing to do with e-commerce. We were talking about those earlier, so heck yeah. I love it.
Well, guys, if I can be of any help to anyone, whether it be in the Secret Beach, Facebook, or anything, reach out to me. My page is not private, so you guys can ask me any questions at any time. I'm always available. Always have my phone on me, and I'm always willing to help. So I appreciate you guys having me on the show. Brianna, was also awesome talking to you. Nice to meet you. And Jason, as always, my man, it was great talking to you as well.
Heck yeah.
You as well.
And you'll be back, sir, as a guest host if you want to, because it was great. I got a little good feedback while this show was going on. People were like, "Oh, I like him. He's fun."
Awesome.
Brianna, I will see you here in July.
Yeah, I'll be there.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a wonderful night in the Secret Beach, and I'll be in there later, just catching up with messages. So have a good night. It's dinner time. Bye bye.